Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Suazo. Thank you so much for stopping by. In today's video, I'm going to go ahead and be sharing with you guys my updated foundation routine. The last time I did a foundation routine was probably a year ago, and my skin was in a very different place. My skin is still oily and I still battle with blemishes. I don't have as much active breakouts as I did before, so I wanted to do an updated routine to just show you guys what's been working for me lately, the products that I've been loving, and the powders that have made a big difference on the appearance of my skin with makeup. Before we get on with this video, be sure to subscribe and like this video if you liked it. So yeah, let's get into the foundation routine. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I already did my eyebrows, so what I'm going to show you guys is how I do my foundation now. I do have some changes in my routine, which I wanted to show you guys. I wanted to update you all, but before we get started, I'm going to moisturize my lips. And I've been using this Vaseline Lip Therapy in Pink Bubbly. It smells really, really good, but this gives you really good moisture. Moving on to my face, I'm going to go ahead and moisturize my skin, and I love using my Clinique Dramatically Different Gel Moisturizing Lotion. It's very, very lightweight, but it gives you the moisture you need. A lot of people who have oily skin think like, oh, I don't need moisturizer because my skin's already oily. But what happens when you don't use moisturizer is then your skin overproduces oil, so it makes your skin oilier if you don't moisturize. And this is a perfect moisturizer because it's not too heavy where it like clogs your pores and makes your skin oilier, but it gives you just like the perfect moisture that you need. So after I go ahead and moisturize my skin, I'm going to go right into foundation. The foundation that I have been loving, that has changed my whole makeup life, is the Tarte Shape Tape Matte Foundation, and I'm in the shade Light. This foundation is perfect for oily skin. Like, this is literally going to be your best friend because it is matte. But what I love about this foundation is it doesn't, like, what happens to me when I use matte foundations that are like claim to be really good for oily skin is they make dry patches on my skin because it's so drying. But what I love about this foundation, it has the perfect combination of moisture and matteness. So I'm gonna literally just like scrape it all over my face. I try to preserve as much as I can because I use this foundation every day. And do not use this foundation with a brush. Please do not use it with a brush, because what happens, or what I've experienced, is when you use it with a brush, it's a lot drier and it's harder to spread across the skin instead of using a beauty blender. So I like using a beauty blender with this foundation because I just feel like it gives me more coverage and it applies the foundation much nicer. When I use a brush, I feel like it picks up all the foundation and it barely gives me any coverage. So that's just my preference, but if you have this foundation, just try it out with both. And I'm telling you, with a beauty blender or a sponge is the best. I just love it. I love this foundation. It covers so well. Once it's all evenly spread out, what I like to do is I like to go back in wherever I need more coverage. Like a little bit right here on my chin, and some more on my forehead. I just apply it. I like that it's buildable because usually sometimes matte foundations you can't really build on it because they're so thick that as soon as you start building, your face gets caked up. But this one is like really thin. It has a good consistency. It's not super, super thick. And then after I apply this, I'm going to go straight into concealer. And the concealer that I've been loving is this Born This Way concealer by Too Faced. I absolutely love this concealer because I feel like when I use a matte foundation, I need a concealer that is a little bit more hydrating. This is the perfect concealer that I like to use because it's full coverage, but it also gives a little bit of hydration. So I just place that under my eyes. I just go ahead and blend this out with my sponge. And I just feel like it gives me such full coverage and so much like smoothing. It's almost like it gives like a smoothing effect as well. Once that's all blended in, I'm going to go ahead and use my Derma Blend Loose Translucent Powder, and I'm going to use this to set it. This powder is really good for setting, okay? So when I use this powder, my under eyes will last me through the night. Like, I don't get creasy, I don't get cakey, nothing. But what happens is a lot of times when I leave this powder on, I notice that it dries out my under eyes a little bit. And it makes my under eyes look dry, which is why I like to use that concealer that's a little bit more hydrating. but I'm going to show you guys a trick that I do to make sure that your under eyes don't look too dry. So now what I like to do is I like to set my entire face with this life-changing powder. This powder is from Sephora. It's called the Sephora Microsmooth powder. I think I've mentioned it before in one of my videos, but this powder literally brings smoothness to every area of your face. So I just like swirling my brush in it, and then I just begin to apply it all over my face. I don't know if you can tell, but it's literally like an airbrush. And what I like is there's not a lot of coverage on this. So it's not that it gives you coverage, it's more so like the finish that it gives you, so you don't have to worry about looking orange when you set your foundation. So here's the trick for the under eyes. So what I like to do is I grab a smaller brush and I like to swirl the powder in it, and if I see that there's any more powder left from the setting powder, I just use this powder to kind of wipe it away, because what happens is it doesn't leave it too dry. It smooths it all out. Now I'm going to go in with bronzer. For bronzer, I'm using my Hoola bronzer, which I love. I've been loving. I know that this bronzer has been around for some time, but I never picked it up till recently. And I have really been loving this for my base for bronzer. So I'm just applying it with this e.l.f. brush. Just a little bit on the forehead to make the skin even. For some preciseness, I'm just going to go in with my Derma Blend powder, and I'm going to go ahead and just clean up this bronzer. This extra step also helps lock in my oils. So now I'm going to go in with highlighter, but before I go in with powder highlighter, I like to go in with liquid highlighter. And this is a Makeup Forever highlighter, liquid highlighter in Champagne. And so this is super glittery and very highlightery. So I don't even like squeeze the tubey at the top. I just place it on the back of my hand. And what I do is I just use my middle finger, I grab it, and I just begin to place it on the tops of my cheeks. Using my damn beauty blender, I just blend this out like so. So this is just to prep for the highlighter that we're going to use. Now we're going to go ahead and go with highlighter, and I'm using the Laura Geller Gilded Honey highlighter, and I just love this highlighter very much. I've been loving it a lot lately, and this has just been my go-to. So I'm placing this on the tops of my cheeks. As you can see, placing that under really makes a difference in the glow of this highlight. And what I love is when you use all that powder, the highlight doesn't look like oil. You know what I mean? Like sometimes when I put highlighter on, I'm like, dang, it doesn't even look like highlighter. It just looks like oil because my skin is already oily. What I love about using that powder and really setting your skin is when you use highlighter, it looks like highlighter. It doesn't look like, you know, just your oil seeping through. So I'm putting this on my chin, on my Cupid's bow, down the bridge of my nose, like so, and then a little bit on the tops of my eyebrows. Just going in with the same brush that I used to apply the Microsmooth powder, I like to use that to take away this powder, because I feel like sometimes there's still some residue left, and you know, extra smoothing powder, you can't go wrong with it. Alright, next up we're going in with blush, and the blush that I've been loving is from Milani. It's called Romantic Rose, and the reason why I love this blush is one, because it's matte. Ooh, I do not like using dewy blushes because, again, I feel like they just become like part of my skin and they don't do well with my oily skin. So I like using matte blushes that really tie the look together. And yeah, I need a little bit more on the cheeks. You know, the tops of my cheeks, like that. So I'm going to go ahead and finish everything up, put on my setting spray, and then I'll be right back to show you guys how it ties into my finished makeup look. Alright guys, so that's basically it for my foundation routine. I just went ahead and put on some mascara and my lipstick. This is a routine that helps me with my oil control and my acne prone skin. Really just step-by-step simple way on how to do it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments if you tried out any of these products, if you loved it, if you hated it, or what works for you. I'm always down to try new things, especially if they help improve the appearance of skin. I'm all about skin now. I'm trying to have healthier skin, glowier skin, and just healthier skin all around. So let me know how you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to follow me on all my social medias, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram. I also have my own blog at www.msuazo.com where I share more in detail like fashion, things like that. So be sure to follow the blog, and if you have any other suggestions for videos, go ahead and leave them down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed my video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.
It looks really good. Your skin looks really good.
Tell the camera, girl, one time. Tell the camera one time.
You're good. Really good.
Okay. I need to like not talk so fast. Alright. My armpits are itchy.